Hey guys, my name's Stephen Boatman. I'm a CFP, Certified Financial Planner, based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And I really like this tax strategy. It's called Net Unrealized Appreciation, or NUA. It is for somebody who can hold stock within their 401k, their company stock within their 401k. And basically when you hit a triggering event, you're allowed to roll that stock over separately from your 401k rollover. So your entire 401k, let's say it's all traditional 401k, will roll into an IRA, and you would hold the company stock and go through this net unrealized appreciation hoop that you have to jump through basically, and convert that stock over into an individual account. And the benefit is that you get to treat that stock as capital gains tax, all the gain on it, and instead of having it taxed as income tax if you were to withdraw it from your IRA in the future. You do pay income tax on the basis in the stock. So whatever you bought it for, you pay income tax on, and the gain of the stock is treated as capital gain. So hypothetically, in the example I'll show you, I had a client who had $700,000 of Microsoft stock in their 401k, excluding their other ETFs and bond funds, things like that. And we separated it through NUA and had the Microsoft stock separate. They only had $50,000 of cost basis in it, or purchase price. So they bought it for $50,000, transferred it over, and only paid tax on the $50,000. Now there's still $650,000 of capital gains we haven't addressed yet. And so I'll talk you through, I'll treat you like a client today, and I'll talk you through some of the different options there. All right, here we have this really basic Excel layout. I know, bring me back to middle school. These are just the earned income tax brackets. So 10, 12, all the way to 37%, and the different levels for married filing separately or single, married filing jointly, and heads of household. No married filing separately on here. And then capital gains tax, you can see here, which is the key piece of this, is there's a 0% bracket, and if you're married filing jointly, you pay 0% capital gains tax up until about $99,000. You also get the standard deduction on top of that. So you could, we just added those together here with a little formula. So you could, if you had $0 of earned income that year, have $131,100 of capital gains that you realized that year, taxed at $0, which is really nice for people who are retired, but Social Security hasn't turned on yet, and they have this really low income year. Great, let's move all this 15% bracket, or maybe 20% bracket, depending on the level of income, over this 0% bracket and have dollar cost average those sales so we can pull the money out. So in this example, $700,000 stock value, $50,000 purchase price for the Microsoft stock. For Microsoft, you have to do average lots. So you have to combine all your lots together and use an average of what the purchase price was over your buying period for those stocks. There are some companies where you can choose specific lots. So you can go in and choose your lowest purchase price, highest gaining purchases. And let's say you bought a lot in 08, 09, right? When stocks were really low, and then you wrote it up. You could just select those and have an even greater benefit because the purchase price would be so low. But Microsoft doesn't allow that. So we have $650,000 of capital gains. If it was taxed at 24%, let's say you withdraw it kind of over time in retirement, you're in the 24% tax bracket, it would cost $156,000. Can we save that $156,000? In our example, my client had a $280,000 loss carry forward. So that's just free $280,000 of capital gains we can realize. There's about $20,000 of principal or purchase price associated with that we already paid tax on when it rolled over. So $300,000 pretty easily realized out of the Microsoft stock. We've reduced some single holding risk and have that money to reinvest elsewhere. They also wanted to make a donation of $100,000. They realized, hey, we're probably not going to work that much more the rest of our lives, kind of near retirement. I think I want to give away about 100 grand over the rest of my life. Great, we can donate the stock. The stock is donated into a donor advised fund in their name, and it is completely tax free. So the stock just transfers over in kind, meaning we don't sell it. It just goes to their donor advised fund. You can name it whatever you like. You can name it the Mickey Mouse Foundation. I'm not a huge fan of Disney. I don't know why I brought that up. But you put the 100 grand in there and you can invest it when it's within there and give away 10 grand per year, 5 grand per year, or it all in 1 year. But it's a way to kind of get that tax deduction all up front. There are some limiting factors based on income that you can read up on, or you can just ask me about. I'll make a video on it. But yeah, something to keep in mind. So there's $400,000 that is just taken care of, $0 in taxes have been paid on it so far. Now we have $300,000 left. What can we do? So we can wait for 0% capital gains rate years, assuming we're gonna have really low income years ahead. Great, might be a great option. We could sell the stock now in order to reduce single holding risk and just happily pay the 15% capital gains tax on it. Still lower than the 24%. Great. We can reinvest that into other things if there's something else that's attractive to us. Or we can dollar cost average the sale over time, which would kind of still give you the same 15% bracket. It depends on your income level and some other things in your life, but you could kind of slowly sell over time in order to reduce that tax hit. And maybe you just want to hold on to some piece of the stock because it could grow in the future. So that's pretty much it. That's the example. I hope you found that helpful. If you have any questions about it, there's a lot of nuance to this tax strategy. I wrote a blog on it. I'll link to it below. But if you have any questions, just let me know. I think it can be really powerful for somebody in the right circumstance and really useless if you're not in the right circumstance. So I just want you to know everything available to you. But yeah, that's it. Have a great week.